I bought the dip, thought I'd ride it high. Bitcoin bloomed, then it bled me dry. Holding tight, nights a low hum. Market spins, I'm going numb. I bought the dip, thought I'd ride it high. Bitcoin bloomed, then it bled me dry. Holding tight, nights a low hum. Market spins, I'm going numb. Chase the green, you burn to red. Wallet full, now an empty head. Round we roll, can't cut the thread. Stuck in this blockchain bed. Couldn't cash out, charts burned down. Crypto cycle spin round and round. Market's cold, I can't let go. Hypnotized, moving slow. Oh, oh, oh. Hypnotized, moving slow. Fees explode, swaying lost on this crypto road. Moons are teased, I'm still too tuned. Trapped beneath this desert dune. Couldn't cash out, charts burned down. Crypto cycle spin round and round. Market's cold, I can't let go. Hypnotized, moving slow. Hypnotized, moving slow. Market hums, I'm going numb. Crypto cycle spin till I'm done.
You've been mining in the shadows, chasing digital gold. Hodling every coin you claim, your secrets untold. Whispers on the chain ignite, you're pulling me slow, slow. Crypto's in your eyes tonight, I'm caught in the glow. Wallets locked, your keys are teased, a game I can't unwind. Life almost creeping through my veins, you're messing with my mind. I'm not your trader, not your pawn, I see through the haze. You're dancing in my dreams, babe, with your blockchain ways. You just want my transaction, yeah. You just want my stacks to send, oh, oh. Playing games with central plans, I'm slipping deeper in your hands. You just want transaction, you just want transaction, baby. Not my keys, not my crypto lately. Pulling me with moves so shady. You just want transaction, you just want transaction, baby. Charts are spinning, I'm persuaded. Lost in code, intoxicated. NFTs light up the dark, your apes are on display. Gas fees pull me under, but I'm swaying anyway. Babe, we're going to the moon, your voice cuts through the night. Exit scams are calling soft, I'm trapped in your sight, I'm trapped in your sight. Notes align, your words seducible, running your tone. Promises of wealth unwind, I'm never alone. I'm not your mark, not your prey, but I'm falling too fast. Crypto's got me locked in deep, this high's gonna last. You just want my transaction, yeah. You just want my stacks to send, oh, oh. Playing games with central plans, I'm slipping deeper in your hands. You just want transaction. You just want transaction, baby. Not my keys, not my crypto lately. Pulling me with moves so shady. You just want transaction. You just want transaction, baby. Charts are spinning, I'm persuaded. Lost in code, intoxicated. Chains are humming. Coins are running, running. Call me yours, but I'm not breaking. Cold wallet's mine, no chance you're taking. You're my rhythm, oh. You just want transaction.
Checka checka 1 2, checka checka. I want to. Yeah, these ones are good. This one right here. Yeah. It's working, I think. You can hear, right? Alright. What other assistance can I do to you fine fellas this evening? That is? Okay, that'll be a service for you. Would you... Was that a cowbell? I hadn't seen a cowbell in a long time. Mind if I take a look at your cowbell? My grandpa used to say there ain't nothing like a cowbell. Just to perk up them spirits. Oh, now that's a cowbell right there, young man. That one's still good. Okay. But yeah. I took too much leverage like a newbie. What the hell was that? What's going on, son?
Hell, I don't know. I was just trying to order pizza. I don't know. He came, delivered it, and started doing a mic check. Hell, I don't know. Hey, you want a slice, Sharpie?
Is it guy pineapple?
Oh, jeez.
I like pineapple.
Who the hell puts pineapple on pizza?
We do it a lot back home.
Yeah. You're an American now. You need lots of cheese in your life.
Oh, the sacred cow jumpy jumps.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for tonight's feature film. How my life was destroyed by crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the turkey. The turkey, the turkey, the turkey, turkey, turkey.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Practicing on my Trump dance. Working on that Trump dance there. Hey man, it sucks when you see the possibility of this stuff happening and then it happens and you're like, well, we can come back and retest these areas of this neckline, and we got the white line now. Oh, okay, on total 3. I mean, I drew my line down here. I hope we don't come all the way down here. That would suck. See, the only thing bad about Bitcoin is that when she goes down, all the altcoins go down, usually a lot more. Yeah, that part of the game kind of sucks because Bitcoin dominance loves to throw us for some loops here lately, it seems like, and Bitcoin is just the dominant coin out there. Out of the 21 million, those are the 21 million that all the big money really wants. Don't really care a crap about your 100 million funky Inu. Not yet, anyway, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's come over to the regular screen here and see what Bitcoin has done on the 6 minute time frame. This was our nice little top area over here. We had fibs there. Also had an AV equals CD move, which came just a little bit off him, isn't it? Silly me thought, well, maybe she come back down and go pour it again. Nope. Nope. But the ABCD pattern is a bearish pattern. You can get up to the top and then you're expected something like a reversal or, you know, a good, decent correction. And we've seemed to have got a pretty decent one. Some would argue that we got an ABC correction going on right here, and I'd say I hope that's it, because that might mean that it's about over with here. If you look at the little, what is this thing called again? That volume profile little guy here, it's got quite a number down here, right? 1022. Those are some other areas too. I've got a fib area down there that I've got my eye on. The most alarming thing is that, well, you know, we kind of broke trend line. Remember this big, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trend line we've been holding since way back here. Well, you know, and that can be subjective now. Especially if you got a chart that's got a lot of crap on it. Like my Bitcoin 4 hour. Hey, look at this on the 4 hour for Bitcoin. A lot like our altcoins on the 4 hours, so for a little bit further along than our altcoins. Look at this beautiful flipping happening here of the 300 over the 800. Now the red one's still down here, and that's the case on a lot of altcoins too. It's better if it's above it, but you know, that's not a deal breaker. We can do a lot of goodness with that one being on the bottom. Just keep in mind it's still going to be a sandbag until things get really juicy. But you know, the last time she got below is when we finally started bottoming out and then started pumping along, so it can't be all bad. Now there's always a chance we might come back down and talk to these guys. I hope it's not anytime too soon, but that is always a possibility. We start losing some areas. If I had to guesstimate, we're going to go ahead and take this trend line off because it gave up the ghost a long time ago. And as best, it was hard to get a good trend line here, so we can't really just put full stock and faith into the little line that I've got drawn right there, in my personal opinion. The best thing, in my personal opinion, is to zoom out. Actually, I think that's where they came from. Let's come back. Okay, now zoom out. Yeah, okay. So the best that I could do is on the daily. And you know, that's still subjective, and I know I could use a freaking magnet tool. Another little thing that I like to do is look at the angles over here. Because a lot of times that will tell me what to look for over here. And if I put that little angle play right down to the bottom wick there, now that line, and I'm going to stick with that idea. Because it's really about the last valid idea that we have before we break it and start coming down. So I've got this angle set right at that wick. There's not any touches over here, so I don't give the impression that this is a valid wick. That's right where we are. And so this, in my mind, is our last hope and a prayer to catch a bounce. But I gotta say, here on the 12 hours, not the daily, not the 4 hour, but here on the 12 hour, so I've got a yellow line representing the 618 Fibonacci. That's a catch point. We got a 50 moving average, which is a place that we would normally, you know, we would expect and hope that we would bounce off of, because losing the 50 means, man, we're really, this trend is really about over. Okay, so this is our last little hope right here. And if I had to guess, you know, if I had to give anything that could give me some slight hopium, is that this is not crossed yet, but by golly, it looks like the next candle over is going to have a cross. So, you know, if it hadn't crossed, if there was a space there, I would think maybe we can come back, recover it, and it'll just turn around and we can go along our merry way. But after it gets that cross, it's kind of final here. So unless you got a miracle little coming in with a volume on this Thursday evening, going into Friday, going into the weekend, hard to see that happening. And we should just look at it for what it is. It's a bearish cross there. She almost crossed right here, and this is kind of what we're looking at over here. That was looking scary, But you know, that was 103,000. Why does it feel? Isn't that kind of crazy? I mean, we got up to 105, came down to 103. Why does it feel a little bit more scary now than it did then? Have you noticed that? I don't know. It's just like, it just kind of feels, the sentiment just kind of feels that way. The more that we go up, the scarier it is if we start coming down. And there's some kind of whale on Hyperlink that has a liquidation here. Yeah, and I'm wondering, did you get liquidated, my man? It looks like they might have came and got him. I have not heard the news. But then part of me thinks maybe not, because that would probably, that size of an order would probably cascade, you know, a lot of other stop losses and possible liquidation points, and it might, you know, have a nice little dumpy big ass candle to the downside, kind of like Germany selling off their Bitcoin or something and all that fear. So I don't know, I'm kind of curious, but so far, if I had to look, and I'm on the 36, I jump around on time frames. At least I'll try to tell you where I'm at. This is a 36 minute, because we have to be weirdos and not have a 30 minute. 36, it just divides by 6. So an hour, 6, 60. Just those kind of takes, 24 minute. Anyway, that could be a nice bottom right here. Pin bar bottom, right, or if we want to call it that. That can be a bottom, but it could be one of many bottoms. There could be another one come down and retest it. There could, you know, a higher low is what we'd hope for if we're going to get anywhere back near this area. But this is an interesting time frame, I think, because we're at these bigger moving averages that have a lot of weight. And I most notably know where my 800 is. That's this orange one. And then my 360, which is over here. So I kind of automatically assumed that, well, we got kind of a real range that we might be able to work with. And that gets us back up to about 108,800. My only concern is that as far as the other moving averages that we normally look at here, I mean, the big ones, at least on this time frame, are still bullish. But the normal ones, before I ever started using those old guys, are saying, we flipped. This is all over. Maybe we'll come back. Maybe we'll bounce in, and maybe. What we've been doing is just been trying to come up, and go down now. We're in a downward trend. Officially. Or is it a correction? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think this is a correction that we'll find ground maybe here, hopefully here, possibly a little lower, possibly, but hopefully here at the 618? That's a great place, and you know, we do have the remnants of a possible hope and dream trend line right here, based on nothing but angle and speculation. That's a little bit more than what props up the dollar, so it's valid. Can't buy you a Corvette with it, but hey. But these guys, whew, lordy. Flipping over. It would be nice. Now, I was looking personally. Let me get these guys off of here. I don't need these guys anymore. Hello, everybody. I'm just saying hello ahead of time before I come over to the chat, but I think it's kind of important that we zoom out and not just kind of zoom in and try to understand what the hell is going on, Helen. And you know what? Should we do? No, do I want to erase stuff? Do that, because I'm forgetting what some stuff is, and then some of it's just kind of, okay, I know you are. I wanted you there. That gray line is our high from over here in January. Bitcoin got to 110. Was that really January? Yeah. Gosh, I forgot about that. That's crazy. So we had a nice run. You can't deny that. I mean, bullish beyond belief, really. I mean, that was the most hopeful situation that we could have asked for, and we got it. But when we got to look at the bigger picture of things, there's two important areas that we need to keep in mind, that even if this is part of a bigger move, we've got a couple of, if this is our top, if we're not still going for the little higher area right over here about 114, if we're not trying to go up there, then we're probably maybe working on a bigger correction idea. I'm just saying. If that be true, then 103 and even 97,000, either one of those two areas would be the two top areas to look for. More so, really, if we're going by fib theory, you know, kind of down here around 97, that 382. So we got to keep that idea in check. And what does that throw us off our game? Well, it's not very fun, and it would be really, really nice. It'd be really nice if we can continue on up just a little bit, just to get a little further than this, because where we are right now, just that little bit stretch up there, that's starting to make this look like distribution. Okay, and if this is distribution, basically we're looking at maybe a double top scenario at best. And maybe it even kind of mimics that. Maybe we come down and we go back up, and then we can't get back up there again, and boom, you know, we just kind of, we're in this big ass range. Oh, that would truly suck. Oh gosh, I hope that is not what's going. But we got to remember, we do have to remember that we got some good things going on the bigger time frames. So maybe we need to revisit that just to kind of get grounded again. The monthly over here on the indicators are looking good. They're starting to point up. Our MACD, I mean, it's just like she got a little power boost. She got a little power boost back here too, and then that's where we got our last run here on the monthly. So dark candles there, so that's looking good. Our RSI, I have not yet. Have I trend you out? Well, she's in a safe zone so far. It looks like she's getting above the signal line and could be going back up to the top areas here. Now, given the distance between there and how close that we are to those, kind of makes me think, you know, well, can we get a time scale from that? Just a rough estimate. How many times did that take? That took 275 days to 306 days. So what are we looking at? It's 9 months from there to there. I'm just speculating here. What would we look like for about that same time here? We'd be looking about September, October. If we're keeping something along those lines as far as time-wise. It's just an idea. Like when we might be able to peek out or something. We just looking. All right, so let's come over to the 2 week over here and remind ourselves. Money flow is deep in the green, and that's good. All these indicators look good. They look a little tired. Stochastic's a little, you know, leveling out. On the momentum wave, I don't know. She's angling over a little bit more instead of a big steep wave. So we look at that kind of. That's getting a little shallow, but still, money flow is there. Money flow is there, so that's good. Here on the 2 week, oh, it's Ain't MACD's sister, the 2 weeker, over here starting to flip on us. Well, that's usually a good thing. Now, I haven't. I want to take these lines off, but can we see what the chart looked like the last time you flipped on the there? Can we see that? And we'll take this one, and you didn't flip over there. You did flip over here. When was this? That's December 2022. Oh, geez, that's been a long time. $2022. Well, Bitcoin was right down here at the very bottom. On the very bottom was when she flipped. that might be worth keeping a note of and park in the back of your mind if you're looking for them bottom confirmations that, hey man, bottom might be in. You might know before other people, because most people were waiting until we got up to 30,000 for the confirmations. And you got it on the 2 week, got it on the 1 week first, but that did pretty good there. That's impressive. Here we are, and she caught this candle. Now, I don't know how far it would have went up, but it did go all the way up and then come all the way back down to 65. But that was the start of this move. 2 week, remember, this is a lagging indicator. And then here we go with this one. This is the 2 week candle we got now. So, will we get a little short candle like this, where everybody's scared to death? Everybody's kind of scared to death now. No, I wouldn't say everybody, but kind of wondering, because it does look like the market wants to go down. Looks like Bitcoin wants a correction. Then you got that information, and if you've been through it before, after the conference, I mean, that does seem that maybe they just need to stop having yearly conferences or just not have one during the bull year. It definitely happened last year. We went through all this crap and don't want to do that again. Heaven forbid. So looking at the 2 week on the market cipher, it's got me a little concerned about this sign of weakness there, but we really should be in a phase more like this. We should be like, you are here, and we should have, we should get a little bit more going up there, baby, is all I'm saying. And there's just times when it doesn't feel like it's going to, or you think it might and then it doesn't, or what I think I'm trying to say is a lot of people, this is making people anxious. Okay, so here we are on the weekly, and we got our stochastics topped out here. Now, that's not to get alarmed with. Last time that the 2 week, remember we still got it marked over here? When she flipped over, they just stayed buried up there, and that's when we had straight up, baby. Wow! So what about over here on this indicator, when things were going really good? Looks similar to over here. Most things are okay so far. We could still fit in the category. I just see this VWAP thing starting to curve down. Were you curving down a little bit? You probably looked like you were, and you leveled out. So maybe we're still okay here. But it doesn't look too much different from that, right? That's some of the things that we do. We look at little thingies like that. What about MACD over here on the weekly? This was the point we crossed on the 2 week, the red line. And this is what it looks like on the regular weekly. Similar. Now to me, maybe it's too early to tell, but there seems to be a little shortening here. This is our current one though, so it's not done. So she can still grow. It's too early to make that assumption, but I look at the range of these histogram bars from one another. This second was a nice big move, doubled up more than doubled the first one. This is the one that we're on currently. We're just a little bit above it. We could probably do better, right? When I talk to Ichimoku Cloud, she's the party girl. She's just all ready to rock and roll. She's like, number go up, baby, all the way. But I think one of the most promising things that I've got to point out on the weekly, and I'm jumping around, I know, but 9 over the 21 on the moving averages. That's good. Now it's down at 94,000, so technically we could come and meet it, or it could meet us halfway, or however that works. We could still drop. Hopefully we don't, but it's good when we can start getting a run and just kind of get away from her. Is that what we're doing? Kind of looks like it a little bit, doesn't it? And we came up and bumped our head on a Fibonacci, but it wasn't even the main Fibonacci that we need to be concerned about, though. That one's a wee bit higher. Let me come over to the chat, say hello to everybody. We'll get off of Bitcoin, start looking at our altcoins, because, well, they look a little under the weather right now. We got Strega with the sad face. How's it going, Strega? Yeehaw. There's Chris Klein. So, shout out to you guys. Bullish on Parade. What's up, OG1? I believe somebody did. She definitely appears to be in charge of this party.
It's gonna ignite.
Let's see, we got Good Ground Bravey. Whales making room for their new financial friends, making room for me too.
Flickers and bends, but this is a circle.
Sicario. Do you think Bitcoin is flipping into Bitcoin money is flipping into Ethereum? I mean, maybe some of it. I'd say the majority of money looking for Bitcoin right now is just focused mostly on Bitcoin. It's the institution money, the corporate money that's starting to eyeball it for treasury. That's really going to have an effect. You always just don't feel it for about a 6 months. That's the thing about it. I think we might. I'm just kind of wondering if the bear market is going to be as bad for Bitcoin, because I still think there's going to be enough institutional demand that's coming onto it to kind of keep the prices up. And it makes me wonder if, 100,000 is the new 20,000, if that's the kind of the new floor that we're looking at. Those are just thoughts that go through my head, just speculation. We don't know anything. Not yet. Bitcoin hasn't hit its all-time high. Which did go just a wee bit higher, but that gave it up. I do. It's the only place I eat pineapple. Well, I'm way behind on the chat. Board PC guy. MG Motorsport. Goody Marshmallow. Epstein's ghost. It was Hillary. I think it was Hillary. With James Wynn liquidated. Okay, did they liquidate him and it didn't drive us down any further? That's what I was wondering about earlier. Let's go see what's going on. Oh man, why'd you give me the white screen, man? Why you gotta do that? And there. Arg. All right, well, we're going to have to suffer through the widescreen, I think.
Lightning strikes on the edge of fate. Leap of the brave, no time to wait. Path unknown, yet the beats alive. Feel the
There we go, 2 hours ago. So James Wood's just been liquidated for $100 million. God, that's gotta suck. Okay, so and that's what drove us down. I didn't drive us down too far. Okay, so that's out of the way. I was trying to keep up. Oh, well, that's not what I was looking for. Sorry. Let's. This is a liquidation heat map over here. And there was some yellow down here, and I had to scope it up there, man, to see it. We still got some. Oh man, hopefully they got it all. And we just kept scooping it down. And now if it be true, and it does seem to happen that way, if they've got enough and they don't want to come down, the little greedy bastards, down here and get all these smaller orders. Let's see, how small do they go? I honestly thought they had more over here to deal with than here. I thought maybe they go up and then come down, but nope, they decided that they come down and get all the little small fries. And well, I guess James wins, not a small fry. But that sucks. Well, I mean, it sucks for him. Sucks for anybody. I do see 100,000 getting tested in the future. I don't know if it's going to be now though, or it started to look like it, and it may still happen. I don't know. We might still have the Bitcoin conference curse. I'm just saying, it's weird, but that crap holds something. All right, the only thing that's giving me any hope is the Magdi giving me some hope there. So 11,000. So yeah, you got a good point. If he's liquidated, maybe we can. Are we? We going it right now. Now everybody's going to put in a long, be a perfect time for them. Liquidate them little bastards, wouldn't it? Ha 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 ha. So is our possible ABC correction over? I tell you what, you know what? We're here on the 12 hour. We're going to ask Elliot. Elliot, what do you say? Oh. You see why we don't invite Elliot to the house to parties, right? You see what he's saying? Maybe you need a clean chart. Elliot seems to think that 97, 93, and 88,000 are in order here. Huh. And so what scenario would have to happen for that? I doubt that we'd immediately go down there. We're at an area of support, and I'd say we'll probably get a little something coming out. But there's also scenarios here. We can come back up, double top. We could come back up, go higher, and then come back down. It doesn't have to be the way Elliot says, but that's interesting that he said that. We wanted his opinion. I asked for his opinion. Now here on the 4 hour, he's got our AB. Now this looks a little bit more plausible, but it depends. If we're going to respect this new imaginary dotted trend line that we took from this angle over here, if that works, and I've seen it work enough that's why I'm doing it, maybe our ABC is over. We bounce off a 618er, and that's the 618 from here to hither. Or it's supposed to be other. Oh man, are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the wick down here. The rule is from swing low to swing high, and that was part of the whole little bottomy to the toppy. So yeah, that's our 618. 886 retracement. Man, we can sit here and make arguments about several different theories. If we're looking at this little guy as being a is it a cipher? I think it's the cipher pattern. That could take us down to an 886. And this is the little guy. I think if I can draw him correctly, it would come down to an 886. It would take us somewhere around 101. Right, yeah, right around 100, 102 down there. So we've got those ideas, so we don't want to fade it. We don't ever want to think that we know exactly what it's going to do. That was, man, these were great areas to take a short. And I was trying to short some of these things over here, but you just got to have the conviction and right, because it's a bumpy ride when you start out, man. It is a bumpy ride on those shorts until they start get going, and then even when they get going, if you got the greatest entry, look how far they come back up and like, oh, it's gonna stop me out. That was a fail. It's going up, and that's what it feels like. And then you're, oh well, so it's wild. And then you get to the places where it's like, you know, you got rules against shorting support, and then you just keep seeing it go down and go down. Well, at least that's what I've seen. There are areas I feel like shorting. I wanted to, but I'm like, no, that's against my rules. And if I had it would have come back up, and then she just kept on going down. And her nice little bearish freaking trend made a higher high over here, and then came down and made a lower low. So all this convoluted price action in here and swing failure patterns, if you want to look at that way, or bear traps or whatever, it's shaky price action, and that means they're out for blood. So they're really playing some. That one, you were going from that to that. That one was okay. If you're playing some idea like that, there's the breakout. So lots of sketchy price action, in my personal opinion, and we're coming into the weekend, and I'm just wondering, how's it going to get better? So I am looking for, the possibility that they drive us up, and we just, we apply the same rules. This is the thing that just kind of helps me more than anything navigate to the market. We pull our fib. And we need to get above and hopefully maintain this 0.5, because when we don't, we roll over. And then we start meeting these little guys down here, and that target keeps coming up, man. This 10, what is this? That 1028 area. So if you follow me on this idea, follow me if you will, fellas. We were up here swinging hard, we went down to swing low, and we tried to see how far she was going to go. And she went up, and it started looking hopeful. And then this was you can't even see this, can you? This was getting a little sketchy coming back below the 236, but then she got above and like, well, okay, well, it's just a flash out. See, that was one right there too, where it looked like it was going to retest this area and go up, but she came down and freaked everybody out. That was around noon, I think, and then climbed up to our 0.5 Fibonacci. She could not get past it. I think on my pool, I think on one of my pools, she got up just a little bit above. So I must have been off on my pool, but gave it back up. It couldn't hold it. It goes above the 200 moving average. Yeah, it's above the 200. Let's go. Well, that's the signal. And it can be. I mean, it can be. It's especially helpful if you got some other moving average to kind of help you figure out if it might work or not. That's when the bigger ones help out, because they were saying, probably ain't going to work. I'm just saying. They all grouped up there angrily trying to go bearish crossovers, and we're trying to, it's above the 200, we're ready to go to the moon. And the bigger moving averages right there would have said, no, ain't happening. Or how do you interpret it? I mean, they're up there cock blocking. I'm saying you probably ain't getting none tonight if they're doing that. Nasty 360 moving average went right up to it. So that's where the bigger moving averages will come in helpful on some of these time frames, even the smaller ones. Just saying. Where did you go, man? Is it this one? Okay, I'll take those off. Well, maybe I should keep them on. I don't know. I'm on the 15-minute time frame looking at Bitcoin, trying to figure out what the hell it's going to do next. Do we have a glitter of hope? Do we have an imagination of what it might have? She got rejected there, and then where did she come down to? She came right down here to our bottom little basement area of our Fibonacci, and I expect her to do something similar if she can't get past that middle ground there. If the elevator cannot get past the 5th floor, ladies and gentlemen, well, we're in danger of taking a trip to the basement. So here we're watching, and she got past the 1st floor. She's debating on going to level 2, which is $106,200. But the real area that we got to get above, ladies and gentlemen, and not just get above, but hold, make sure that that floor is sturdy, there's no holes, don't want to step into the little weak spot, fall through the ceiling to the next level. That happened on Donkey Kong one time, and I got pissed as hell. Threw a barrel of fire, a barrel on fire at me, that freaking monkey. So that's the cautionary 106.8. We got our 618 Fibonacci at 107.2. KFM, where you get all the hottest Latina hits on crypto. All right, so and that's the little fuzzy area, and so we got a chance, but man, these moving averages, woo, baby, that's been the real thing. I've been watching these moving averages, and I've been commenting on it. I'm like, even from over here, I'm like, I don't like what I'm seeing on the moving averages. They're looking like they don't look like a good flip. I don't like it. I don't like it. And sure enough, one of these days I'll act a little bit more diligently on there. That was a nice bounce here off that 50 moving average. It's a shame we couldn't hold that little sucker. So now if we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, and I'm looking at some other things that are kind of really hinting at this area down here, man. I hope we don't. I hope we don't. But if we kick off that, I'm like, you're breaking out of our last little area of trend line, if that were to happen. And then that's when we got to entertain the thought of, oh my gosh, well, if that's true, could there be a bigger measure move that's then going to bring us back to these areas, and that's where we also saw some confluence, right? So we don't want that to happen. We want this area that we're at right now to hold. It's kind of important. We need to get above and try to stay above 106 is what we need to do. Our happy little asses need to stay above 106. Are you the good one? Do we need to add to our position here? So well, let's look at some hope. Oh, not breaking that one now. Now you could make some kind of weird ass argument. Why not trend line? Yeah, you do. You can touch it, so it's valid. But the real angles are kind of pointing out this way. So we still got some. We still got some resistance ahead, I believe. Oh well, the trades are up. All right, well that's cool. Are they decent? Oh, that one's decent. Are you? Oh, you're okay. Okay, I didn't go too slide on you. We're getting ready to, we had our 9 cross that 21. I'm coming down to the itsy bitty tiny time frame here. I'm just going to add just a small little smidgen to one of my positions that I've got open there. Yay! Okay, so we got just a little bit added to our position there. Alright, so we got a JJ pattern happening here on the 1 minute. You guys are familiar with the uterine JJ pattern. This is a very popular pattern in traditional technical analysis. Pre-med students kind of noticed this kind of going earlier over when they were watching Grey's Anatomy and trading hospital stocks. But we have one over here. We have the uterus, a little bit JJ. And then we come back up and we're now starting to form our other little uterus. You might now notice the resemblance there, the little fallopian tubes. Those are big. That one's, you know, it's got a tumor. That's why they're I don't know. Anyway, looks like we got a possible JJ pattern going on there. Also, some people might call them a head and shoulders, but we don't have really a solid neckline, I don't think. Unless we want to zigzag it around in some fashionable way and say, okay, squint. Okay, we got that. I guess, whatever, where you can get a little solid, you need a neckline. You gotta have something to break out of. Maybe you gotta have something solid. Something solid. So, we could look at that on this very, very small time frame. It's like, to the upside. I like this kind of V-shaped recovery idea of Mr. So-and-so did get liquidated or whatever, and if that's the brunt of it, that's the brunt of it right here. It's like, where all those million? There's that much liquidity there just to eat it up. Okay, I'll take that. What we need to see right now is to get past this guy and ideally get past this guy. 106.4. 106.500 would be awesome. Start making higher highs. Until then, we ain't got crap. Nothing. Nada. Not a gosh darn thing. Just a hope and a dream until we make a higher high. After we make that higher high, according to the famous words of W.D. Gann, once we start establishing, then hey man, hey baby, I think we got a new trend going on here. I think we ought to try something a little different here. Now, my personal approach to this thing would be to bid this little guy out. So if we're going to make a on shorter term time frames, which this is pretty dang short on this little 1 minute time frame, we're looking at 106.6, 106.8 area right there to get us some juicy resistance for a pullback. That'd be our higher high. And then we wait. Should that happen? Look, this little target's right there, smack dab in the middle, 106.7 something. The next higher low, which we would anticipate and hope that it would be a retest of this invisible neckline. The top of the JJ, or the uterine. The top of the uterus, around the cervical area. Ouch, don't hit it too hard. I don't like that. Back to 106, back to where we are, maybe. We might be looking at something like that. We would hope to see something like that. Maybe it comes a little deeper. just to scare the bejesus out of the market one more time. But wherever the next higher low is, once we confirm that, hey man, we caught somewhere, that's the place to go. That's the place to start going in heavier, according to WD Gann. That's what I want to wait for right there. So I got to see a higher high, and then I'm looking for that higher low. We haven't had that yet. Except for that one that kind of faked us out over here. That higher high and looking for that higher low, and oh, maybe this is it. Nope, that was not it. She pulled the old whoop-de-doo on us. Yeah. You woke up to find just a letter. A Dear John letter. The old whoop-de-woo. She was gone. It's not you, it's me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me come over to the chat one more time here. I tell you what, let me put my little marker out. If you guys got any altcoins you want to take a look at, let me throw that out. Should have done that earlier while I was talking. Good Brown Gravy says, never heard of James Wynn, but everybody seems to be talking about it. I'm just surprised that somebody would throw that many millions of dollars on 40x leverage. Are you freaking? I forgot the amount that he put out. I don't know. It's somewhere between $15-20 million. It may have even been more than that. But at 40x, but when we got to he did it at $110,000 was his entry, right? And we got up to what, 111, just a little bit. He was up $82 million. He could have cashed out $82 million. It going up just that little bit, but no. And then he did something. What I'm reading, and it did something, and it kind of, I don't know, offset things. He did have a lower liquidation, but whatever he did raised his liquidation. So he must have I don't know what he did, but anyway, it screwed up his entry and everything. Which it's easy to do if you add at the wrong time. I'm just probably, I just upped my entry by adding to my trade. So where I had a nice little entry, it's kind of raised it up a little bit. So that means my stop losses and all that stuff have got to be recalculated there. So we're looking good here on the 50-minute chart. We're starting to climb up above the 9. We're above the 9, starting to climb up above the 21, getting some bullish crosses here. Looking like we're trying to do a little something, and this is where I do want my bigger moving averages. And I'd like to just point out that these little freakers have flipped bearish AF over here. Right there. So, in my personal opinion, I'm really skeptical if we're going to make it past 106 if we don't roll over. That's kind of what I'm kind of anticipating. I'm wondering if we're going to do something like that. I hope not, but if we do go up, I mean, we can technically get a little higher, but that's bearish though. It's going to take a while to unsettle these guys. It takes a little longer the bigger the time frame you get to for these guys to wind up and then unwind, Like this, how long was this area? We're looking at 11 days. You're looking at 11 days. Are we on an 11-day? Are we on an 11-day cycle here? That one was 15 days. So you can see it can take us up to a couple of weeks there to flip these. This one was kind of short. Well, this one happened in roughly about 8 or 9 days. So yay, we got that going on. And that just happened. So if we take that into account of when we could be a flipping in. Or are you not going to tell me that what happened here? Oh, okay, I see. No, you're just telling me bars. You're not telling me you went days back here, but oh, here we go. Okay. What? Didn't you quit? Then it quits. Well, here's 5 days over here. So what's that mean? Go there now, and to till we'd finally start to come back up over here. That would, or down here. That would suck. Not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but these are just some things we get. Short term, that's bearish. Okay, so kind of makes me think that we're not going to do as well. Probably won't get back past. You know, it makes me wonder if we can reclaim that area too. Yeah, also got this little area, that little horizontal area right here. Yeah, all that could we could be bumping our heads on that little stuff. Or it could just be a big old flag to the upside. That's right, that comes back to the 21, and just keep finding whichever time frame it's got a 21 near it and wait for it. Maltwek. She's lost at 21 there. I guess we gotta go. Oh, you'd have to go kind of big on that one, wouldn't you? Yeah. Oh, you're at it on the on the daily. So it's got to bounce now if we're going to flag, right? That don't look like much of a flag on the daily. Well, you're just not squinting your eyes right. I said draw your flag out. Well, a flagpole to the upside. Look. So this is what is so disappointing though, right here, right? When we look at the daily on the altcoins and we start seeing, oh man, because there was a green day where we were up that much and we are like, yeah, oh, this is starting to look good. Yay, that might, ooh, yeah, Popcat. And then, and now you get to see them mostly give all that stuff back, right? Very few are still up on the week. How much? We're down 10% on the week on some of these. Some of these guys over here. So that's what sucks, is that when Bitcoin starts coming down, and so if she's going to keep going down, that's what that's why I'm concerned if it goes down to 100,000, or God forbid 94,000, like, you know, some of these indicators, and I mean it's on the table. I hope we don't. You know, there are bigger time frames are suggesting we got enough strength to hopefully avoid that. But if it did, I mean, altcoins to get decimated again, I mean, that's what sucks. It sucks that altcoins are just keep giving it back and keep losing possible areas of support. And, you know, we try to give them a chance to catch an area and cheer them on and everything, and it just keeps coming back down. But here is the others, and it, like all the other altcoins, I mean, it represents altcoins. We can see our bigger moving averages. Now they're bearishly flipped, but they're all coming together, and they're starting to flip positive. So then we got to ask yourself, well, is it worth staying in, or, you know, is this how bad is this ride going to get? Because I know there's a little voice in me that's concerned, because I don't want to go through what I went through last summer ever freaking again. I would rather sell half of all my stuff, or, you know, maybe 75% of all my stuff, and say screw that. But then if this is what we're doing, we're going to catch, and then we start pumping up, and Bitcoin dominance starts going down. Oh, that would be kind of stupid. That would be the equivalent of selling near the bottom or at bottom and not getting the bottom, or, you know. And then some people might be forced to do something like that, just because, usually leverage involved. You might get into a situation where you have to make a decision like that, or sell a portion. That's happened to me a couple of times. I don't want to go be in those situations. So we got Miss Lucy just hanging out down here. Oh, we've already got a line there. This little red line right here. I want to paint her white or orange, maybe orange. Make it orange. 240 billion, and we're at 215 billion. So could we suffer another $15 billion loss to our altcoins? I mean, it's kind of what we've already done from where we were. So I'm hoping that this trend line that we got, or this area down here, this neckline, something around through here will kind of hold. Maybe, let's see, we're on the 1 hour time frame. Looks a little early, suspect, but maybe we satisfied it. Why don't you pull out an old fib, jolly good fellow? Well, gosh darn it, why didn't I think about that? We should just fib her out. We're gonna go swing low, swing high. Tell me where we need to buy. And it tells me that, oh, we didn't really touch it. 618's right there. We've been down here twice and haven't touched it. But yet this is a higher low than that, so we shouldn't bitch about it. Maybe we should take that as a bullish sign, or maybe we should take it as, well, why don't you go all the way to the bottom, see if it's a 382 or something. That works. See how that works. When we go with the real rules from the very bottom to the very top, got to get some more accurate information there. That one, yeah, that nailed our 382 twice, and it's yes. So okay, from the big total move, that means Elliot, this is your ABC, correct? You seed down to the same thing. Yeah, I guess you can do that. I hope you can do that. Can you do that, Elliot? He seems to think so. Okay. All right. Well, anyway. So we got Elliott wave theory with one particular setup, and bottom of a trend line, 382 Fibonacci, 618-ish area if you're looking at from the shorter term. Good area that we can bounce. 800 moving average, 600, 300's above it. It looks like others might be doing all right. Now, I hate to be, I don't want to give you hopium. I mean, we are headed to the weekend. I look at all those X's. Well, that one worked. That's supposed to mean manipulation. Manipulation. So, Road Dog, are you bullish or bearish? Well, the bigger time frames tell us that things are getting good for both Bitcoin and altcoins. And it's hard to believe right now. Bitcoin dominance is starting to trickle down, although I don't trust it as far as I can throw this on beach. Because she's like a boomerang. She like to go back the other direction really quick, like, I don't know, ricochet or something. But as long as it's going down, we got something on altcoins. And so if Bitcoin dominance is going down, that should mean that we should start seeing this chart go back up. And if this chart's going to go back up, then our trades are going to go up and your wallet's going to go up. So that's what we want to see. We want to see it respect this 382 bounce, because that is a perfect place to get us up to this area over here. And I would much rather see others, total market cap of altcoins, excluding the top 10, go from a meager $255 billion to $345 billion. I wouldn't mind seeing some altcoin gains in the vicinity of another 26% overall. Come back and see, oh, we're up another 5% today. Oh, look, we're up 7% today. And it'd feel a lot better than coming over here and seeing, oh man, we're down 10% today and or 7% today. Just the opposite of what we got going on here is all I'm asking for. Can you do it for me? Is it going to happen? This is a 15-minute chart. It's starting to look like tomorrow might be kind of interesting. Maybe choppy. I don't see great signs here on the Ichimoku cloud or anything. Let's take a look at some of these big indicators here. According to this, altcoins are getting ready to start moving up about any second now. Some of these bigger time frames, I'm hoping that their steam is running out. I'm hoping that their steam is running out. But the 4 hours says we got a chance, baby. We got a chance. And hopefully we don't have to come down any lower. We got a higher low here if we can just keep it. If we can just keep it. We can cross our fingers and keep it. Let me come back to the chat over here, because I've just been yapping around, gobbling around like a big old fat turkey. Talking about all kinds of... It wasn't something about a full moon. Obviously it's 95 to 98K, hopefully. Sunny Melody! I lost it. Where did it go? Master, what did you say about retiring early with Moonbag? Well, I don't have a Moonbag worth retiring early on, so I got to say that. But I like the Moonbag strategy. That's... I don't know what I said, but if sounds like something I would be talking about the Moonback strategy. And I'm all for that every chance you get. Is to take your collateral out and then you got a no risk back anymore, man. Ain't got no risk in that. It's free money. And free money is always the best money. And if you can keep doing that, and it's hard, it's not easy, and you got to be patient to have that happen and try to find things, especially. That's what I like about some of these coins that we get when we see them down at the bottom, and this is where nobody wants to talk about them. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. You know, and not all of them are going to do wonderful, great. But if we catch them in those bottom formations, man, that's the best place to get to Moonback because you can do it so quick. Take your money out and then, okay, see what happens with you. There's some downsides too, such as you get too many coins, too many Moonbags, and too many little coins if you're doing something. Yeah, that can be a hassle. So you got that idea too. So Haven says, what's the full moon chart look like? I hardly ever look at that. Where are we on that? You know, I don't even have that on here. Did they change everything over here? This used to work different. What's all this crap? Okay. Now I don't recognize any. Okay, well, I got moon cycles saved over here. So if I'm reading this right, we got our new moon or our dark moon here. And that is typically our sell-off points. I mean, it could happen. It kind of happened over here. And this should be our full moon if we got this thing color coded right. And so look, so you gotta look because sometimes so new and full moons. I mean, it only makes sense to have the full moon white and the new moon, the dark moon, dark. Wouldn't you think? Okay, so I'm going to trust that that's what they got going on here. So it looks like the dark moon, new moon, tends to dump us, and the full moons seem to kind of give us pumps. You could make that argument. And here we are with a fresh new one, and we are definitely get the dumpy dump. Oh man, I don't like that big thick cloud. Let's get away from that. And this is on others. What do you look like on Bitcoin? Same. How did you do over here? A little bit of a dump, not much of a pump, but a little something. Oh, this is all recent too. So this was new moon, and we did come down, and then we started pumping like crazy. I think that's kind of what we hope that we're doing now, is something similar to this phase over here, right? But I gotta say, it does look like the new moons do kind of, except for this one betrayed us. You betrayed us, you little freak. Look, there's a new moon. Oh, and we're going up. You know, we're going to 120,000. And all that stuff was going over. Man, there were flags to the upside and all kinds of stuff going on over here. When we first hit 107. I'll remember all that. And then we started doing our little freaky spider monkey Batman bat signal pattern there. Not much of a pump there. Nice drop. A little pump. Now I heard Waters Beyond, is it Waters Above, was talking about how that this kind of flipped over with the lunar. I don't know. I can't remember all the details. It was interesting. But at some point it flipped, and then they will start getting the opposite results, and then we did that at some time. So I guess now, because I guess we were dropping on the full moons at some point, but now I don't know. I can't. but it does seem to have a little something. We need a full moon to be coming, baby. We just need, how many more days can we go? How many more days can we go? We got another 10 more days. 10 more days of what? Did we ever pump during the dark moon? Only over here. A little. Not really. We don't have a good history of pumping. Maybe you can consider that. Not really, right? So it's an interesting indicator. Which would lend to the school of thought, or the side that thinks that conference dump, 5 to 7 weeks of downside. And I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm so conflicted. I'm set up to where if we come down, I'm ready for it. But it wasn't as good as it was just a few days ago. I was set a little bit better. I've kind of already added some, and I kind of wish I hadn't done that. But you know, I kind of took that chance. I'm like, well, we gotta play it both ways now. We don't want to be headed to 120,000 with hardly anything now, do we? And have to short our way back. We don't want to have to do that. So I'm in a good spot, but I could be a little better. So I'm trying to find that right place to really, you know, make sure I'm set to go for the run, without having to go through a bunch of freaking drawdown again for my bigger bags, spot bags, and those things. Someone got a Lambo today. Road Dog, do I farm? No, I don't farm. I grew up on a small farm. Like, I mean, a family small farm, like most people did where I grew up. Reezy John says, check out Pigwhiff on Solana. Pigwhiff. Have we looked at that? Have we looked at that? Or I've seen that. I've seen that picture before. So we got Pigwhiff. I guess it's Pigwhiff hat. Well, I mean, it's got a what is that, $900,000 market cap? How many tokens has it got? It was created a day. It just is a brand new pair that's got that much. Am I looking at that right? It's got that much for a market cap? 895,000. It just lost some more. This is the 4-hour chart. So I see that. And since it's a new one, she's already lost a major level to me. I would be careful. I'm kind of scared. There was one we looked at that went up like this, and then she just, as soon as we were charting it, and then it just flatlined. It came down, and she said, I think it's still flatlined. I forgot the name of it. So I mean, we could look, but that trend line's going to already be resistance. To me, that market cap seems kind of high for a new coin. I mean. Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm not. It's under a million. It's under a million. So I'm sorry. I'm tripping there. So it's looks like it bounced off a 786. That would be a place to try to get in. I'm just kind of curious about that trend line. So she'll have to fight with that. So if that's a possible bottom, we're going to assume that it is. That area at what, 1260, 1220. 0.00122227-ish area. Right underneath these candles even. And that's around 1156. There's going to be some resistance there. See if she can get past it, and then, you know, I mean, we'd put this on the back burner. Maybe it gets back above it and just shoots up. If you're looking for a higher target, for a higher high, that's where I'd be looking up here about this 0.0034 area, right through there. Possibly even, did you erase one? Why did you do that? How dare you? You took off my favorite one. Where did it go? Well, that's odd. Oh, is it because I did that? Is that it? Yeah, there we go. So 0.0036. And this 0.003275. Those would be the sweet spots. In my opinion, to make the good gains, if we're going to do it. And that's 270 to 300% gains. Otherwise, your point pot is going to be at 18 and 21, and that's not going to be bad. If this is a bottom, but we got to get, it's going to, I think it's going to be tricky through here, but after that, so that's 156. Yeah, okay, I can see the appeal in it. I can see the appeal in it. It's just, it's all, you know, getting past this area, but I think it's got the chance to do it. You might want to wait till it gets past that to actually jump in. And there's some good gains to be had there. Well, I mean, you can't throw 20,000 in it. I mean, you can, but then you're going to be the ones that pump it up. You're going to be somebody's exit liquidity. What's up, Road Doug? Didn't trade today. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to sit on the sidelines. I'm not doing much either. I've got a few little things out there, but I'm getting chopped up on perpetual futures, stopped out here and there, and that's starting to add up. And I'm like, I'm not enjoying this as much. Get into a trade and think it's got legs, and then maybe get stopped out with a little bit. I don't know. Took a few losses on one, not bad, but you know, bigger than the percentage I wanted to, but still less than my 2% risk limit. But it's been real. It's not been fun. It's not been real fun unless you want to catch a little small move, and that's possible. But you guys be sitting there, right there, waiting and watching, and being in front of the screen, being away from family, being away from life, being away from everything else, so that you can maybe make 20, 30, 50, or maybe a couple $100, just depending on how much that you put into the market. And I mean, and if you're using high leverage, yeah, you're gonna have to sit there and watch it for that time. So it's kind of wild trade. And we're heading into summer. School's starting to let out now, and more time to be spent with the kids and not from the screens. And we do see a drop back in things, except for this one time. Well, I mean, back in 2020. Of course, everybody was out of school, so it made sense that we can have that. I don't know that that qualifies for this particular cycle, but we had something back in those days called DeFi Summer. Was that 2019? Because I believe... Yeah. Oh, no. It was 2020. I would thought that was a regular bull market. Maybe it doesn't look as impressive in the past. It was 2019. That was it. Okay. Gee, that was way back. I believe, to the best of my recollection, it was 2019 in that summer right there. They were calling it DeFi Summer, and everybody excited. And all that stuff started popping off like crazy, and I came into the game after, just right after all that, as far as TA and stuff, and coming back into crypto. I've in crypto back in 2012, 2014, early on, but I did take a little break after all this foolishness. Was that then? But right around here, when was it? I think it was around September, October, somewhere through there when I joined a trading group and started learning some more stuff, and or at least figuring out where to look to learn some stuff. Well, actually, I was with them. Well, I probably focused more on that group for the first bit. Anyway. Oh, there we go. Did that help? Doesn't look like the Viagra helped you out, did it? I think it helped us get up to here, and then we lost it. Man, this is sad for Total 3. Here on the 36th minute, but it looks like she's trying to do a little something to hold a little trend line that we got there. I hope it does. That little trend line, I think, is the one dating all the way back down here. This shoddy trend line, but she need to hold it. As we look at our altcoins. Oh, what the hell? Hey, Poked, I guess you wanted some attention. What happened with you today? Well, I had a really good day today. Hey, looks like you did. What'd you do? Go up 400% today? What are you? Pocket Network. Pocket Network. That's what's popping off right now. Oh, that's because we're on the small ass one. My bad. Over here we got White Rock, which is at 0.0012. What's your dealio, daddy-o? DP says DeFi summer is 2020. And what made sense? Because I think I just missed it, and I was like, oh great, well that makes sense. Of course, when I come into it, when I finally come back into the market, everybody's already had their fun, but they were just talking about, oh man, we made so much money DeFi summer, dude. We're going to kill it, going to nail it. And 25 setups every day, take your pick. So March 20th, April 20th, that run up. Oh, that had to been this run up. That's what they're calling DeFi summer. Okay. Well, that was right after. I mean, everything was. But yeah, that's when all the pancake swap and sushi swap and burger swap and pizza swap and all these food names were coming out, because I remember the trading group guy, the mentor back then, was just, he was kind of the same thing. I was like, how is anybody ever going to take us serious if we're just making copies of everything and just changing it, and it's all food? Sunday swap, you had everything named after food and DeFi for a while. It was kind of outrageous. I'm just saying. And then one of them, was it 1 inch? It wasn't 1 inch. One of them went under, and Sam Bateman-Fried came in to help rescue it. I wonder, sushi. It was Sushi Swap. Well, Total 3, I need you to bounce your little happy asses up right now and start making these coins go up, and I'm just not seeing it. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. Let's put you on this 1 hour. We're starting to get a little green coming in here. Injective starting to take off. QNT's been doing pretty good. I guess we're going to take a few minutes. We've been going an hour and 23 minutes. I hadn't really took a good look at altcoins here. I only saw Pig Whiff. I didn't see any other thing mentioned there. Shiba Inu. Tommy 2 Liter says Shiba Inu. Let's take a look at Shiba. Trying to find a good exchange here. Let's try COINEX. Oh, Shiba, did you take a nosedive? What happened to you? All right, let's go to 4 hour. 4 hour moving averages. The bigger ones, they're still bearish formation, but they're trying to cross, just like on all the altcoins. which is making me think that we're getting ready or trying to get a run up on some altcoins. Ooh, well, you got these diamonds on the 4-hour floor? What the hell? I don't normally use that indicator. I was trying to turn something else on. Lost a 200. Lost a trend line. Okay, here on the daily, the moving average, it still looks like we could come back up for a higher high. So in my personal opinion, I think what we got here is an inverted head and shoulders with a retest of that area, but we just kind of gave it up and had to come back and talk to some moving averages down here. And I hope that she will bounce. See, we're on the daily, so let's go from candle bodies to bodies. And that's what I got, that body to that body. And that gives me a pretty solid angle that we're breaking through. It looks like, oh no, it's all over. But here's where I do this little trick, and we'll just take that same angle and then we'll park it under our lowest wick, and then we'll zoom in and see, are you respecting this idea, mister? And a lot of times I think you'll be surprised that, I mean, those angles kind of matter. So let's hope that it will work. I'm gonna put it as a dotted line. Looks like you want to come back down and retest it again, Chief. Are you trying to do that? Here on the 1 hour chart, fib high to fib low. Okay, so it looked like she's trying to test this line. She got above this little 236. We just need to try to stair step her way up. So we do need to see it get past this area. Oh man, all you guys are dotted lines now. Need to get past this area over here. That's her 0.5. Same story goes with Shiba as it does anything else. I mean, she can recover and get back in here. Oh man, that's awesome. Even if it takes you, it's fuzzy wuzzy, comes up and does all this other stuff. That's cool. What we don't want is to come up to this area, whether we're using Fibonacci or just support resistance or trend lines or whatever. They're all saying right here, because that could point us down to retest these areas. So we don't want that to happen, and we got a chance for it not to. It needs to happen. You need to recover this quicker than not, because it's starting to close in over here, these moving averages. We don't want them to flip bearish. But that's on the 1 hour. I think the 4 hour might be a little bit better. As we're going into the weekend and everything, I think the 4 hour will be a good one to watch. And it's trying. It's just all I can say is trying. She's making some progress with the moving averages, all crossing over the bigger ones. And it's really trying. We turned off the bigger ones, it looks a little bit better. Turned off the bigger ones, I mean, except for losing the 200 moving average, which makes us bearish. But like the 100 and the 50 are still above it. Haven't crossed. Still, it takes a little bit of doing and sell pressure to get those to cross. And unless we get that tomorrow, like a big sell-off tomorrow, we could come back over there and respect this trend line. So that's what we're hoping for. Did we also, we had a Fibonacci, right? From here to here to 886. Hadn't quite touched it. Now it's respecting 786. That could work. And then let's don't forget what our bigger ones are saying. 618. Yeah. Go with the bigger one. The bigger pull will not steer you wrong. The smaller pulls, they can be iffy, man. I'm just telling you. But the bigger ones, yeah. So we got a good chance, I think. I think for today's action, everything just kind of scaring everybody. But we are going to the weekend, so we can't beat it. But my gosh, I hope we hold. I hope we hold. It's making me wonder how we can hold during the weekend. But then we've seen some pretty good weekends lately, right? This was This was Saturday and Sunday. It's a little shaky. It was a little shaky. But it went up and then gave it all back. This was Saturday, and this is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They pumped us up on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that one time. It'd be cool if maybe they'd try to do that again tomorrow. That would be awesome, but I doubt it. I just don't want them to pump us down. I'm sick and tired of me altcoins being ate up. Well, the vector candle. We're going to come down and test the middle of that vector candle right there at 835,000. I hope we don't. But we could. But I hope we don't. So Shiba, are you catching something? Are you still trying to roll over here? So if she does come down, she could be coming, back down here just a little bit. Get a higher high. That's what we want to happen, right? That's what we want to. If she can't bounce from where she is right now, might, doubtful, but might come down a little lower. I'd say a lot of the altcoins are probably looking that way. Hey, there's Joe from Trade Intuition. How's it going, Joe? We're just watching the altcoins go to hell. Turkey swap, says Drake. There needs to be a turkey swap. So let's take a look at some of the ones that have been showing a little bit of strength, and one of those is Tokenmetrics, and even it's dropping. Look, it's just a flag to the upside. So I see some good things going on there on the 4 hour. Still mostly watching the 4 hour for a lot of these things, and it's trying. Jeez, what we got over here? This is our bigger picture scenario. We lost our trend lines. We got too much stuff going on over here. So a nice V shape, and then whatever that is. Call me crazy, but it reminds me of sow teats. I don't know why. It just does. Made myself cough. So choppy on Tokencoin. Maybe we can get back up to 380 we need to. She doesn't look as bad, but jeez. Sucks to be below any support resistance areas, and I don't like that. Come on, Ton. There's some good news with it pairing up with it's Telegram and Grok, I believe. They got some stuff going on with that. Seems to have helped Ton out a little bit. Take a look at virtual. Smaller time frame. Oh! Did we nail it? I don't think we did. When was this? Oh, this is the today's the 3rd. Did we already do this? Did we already do? Nailed it! I can't remember. But anyway, nailed it! Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we did. I don't think we did. Okay, that's cool, because that was from way down here at this little area. We're looking at the idea, if I'm recalling this correctly, swing failure pattern. Oh man, now I'm starting to say it. Damn it. Bear trap. I will stay true to my training. My bear trap idea, breaking back into a trend line pattern. You came back and retested it right now as we're speaking. Still respecting it. Respected it here. Went up there. Made 32% gains. Yeah! I'm pretty sure I would I have? I don't know. We're getting a double dose if I already did it. Hey. I'm just like Trump. We gotta go. There's my signature. Just like Trump. Only different. Copy of that image, take that over to our vanity wall because that's where it belongs, is on the vanity wall. For all the vain postings of our vanity things. This is virtual. I think virtual. That looks a lot like it right over here though. What's that? Oh, that. Apparently, I need some sleep. That's my picture that I just posted there, dumbass. Virtuals. Is it with an S or yes? Nailed it! Alright, so yay! Alright, so we did that. And now we gotta get all this stuff off. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. Now what are we doing? I still go with this guy until it tells me different. That trend line, and as weird as it is. See, it started out this way, then we got this guy, so then we add this guy, and then it still respects that guy. It's several key places right there. Respecting it again. Are you trying to bump up? You don't usually do that through a green cloud, I'm just saying. I ain't gonna bitch about it if you do. I want to come to the daily, see what the daily's saying. Daily, what are you saying over here? Riding above the 9, everything's fine. Well, I can't bitch about it. Is this gonna be the strong coin? Is everything else gonna drop and virtual's just gonna kind of hang tight or maybe go up a little bit or something? Is that what we're doing again? We gonna come back and test 260, go up to 83. We got another target up here at 339. 74% gains from that entry. Here on the daily, we got some nice crosses over everything. I mean, it's a strong move. I'm not sold on this angle though. I think I'm not sold on the channel idea. I'm kind of wondering if there's something else going on here. If there's another. Can we deviate just a hair? What would that look like if we deviate just a hair? Oh, we kind of did. We got that wick. So $2. You could. Yeah, you're not too far from $2. There's a little wiggle room, I think, on that trend line. But we respecting it right now, so I ain't going to bitch about it. Let's go, virtuals! Woohoo! I don't like that. That's bears crosses there, but maybe we'll recover them. Show me a 1 hour. What do you look like? A little better? Not really. But looking through it. Looking through it. Let's give her all the support that she needs, ladies and gentlemen. Encourage her to go forward. Kind words, please. Popcat, you suck, man. What's up with you? You were doing good, and then you started sucking. I'm like, hey, man. Makes me think I didn't want to buy you down here. Or add you back. She went really good, man. She did 60-something cents. Alright, so this is all old news. Let's get rid of all of this. Well, Popcat, it looks like the party is over. Got an M top there. You did what? And then you did a what? Oh man. Whew. What about this though? Popcat looks to me like she gonna go lower. I'm just saying. I'm not sold on this. She's finding some support at the 0.5, but I wouldn't doubt that we come down to this. Honestly. For real. Gosh darn it. I hope we don't see 22 cents out of Popcat, but that can happen with what we got going on over here. I'm just saying. Let's hope that she doesn't go past 31 cents. But I think that she is on a definite correction, and I think we got an ABC correction. Let's get Elliot's opinion. Elliot, what do you say? Elliot says, hell no, we own a 4-wave. Don't trip your ass, road dog. We getting ready to go up. I'm like, all right, Elliot. I'm not sold on that idea yet. Perhaps I'm just feeling too bearish today or something. I don't know. Am I being biased? I just don't. I see good things possible, but we're not there yet, and we're coming to the weekend, so it's probably not happening on the weekend. Can't imagine that we would going into the summer on the weekends. Everybody's not going to be sitting at home glued to the screens trading crypto. Not happening that way. Not saying we can't do good. I'm saying I don't trust this little bastard as far as I can throw him, though. Nice ribbon flips on the 4-hour. Trying to do it. It just sucks to be below the 200 on the 4-hour. I still think we got a good chance to come down here. Let's hope that holds. I really think we could. That would absolutely suck. I hope we don't see anything like that. I'm kind of concerned about PopCat. I don't like that lower high. I don't like the lower low. So we are, officially now setting a downward trend. And so you would expect a higher low out of this guy. I mean, a lower high out of this guy. So if we go by our fib rules, and if this is where we're catching right now, if that's our local bottom, well, we got some ideas here, but same thing. We need to get past this 0.5 area and hold it anywhere over between here, and we can come down to these guys. So kind of concerned about that. Just what I'm seeing. How do you? Wait a minute. You're I tell you, come here, MACD. Are you bullish or bearish? What the hell? Well, there's our answer. She's still bearish on her MACD. Her daily MACD said, honey, right here's when I flip my script. She was a little late to the party, but my God, that would have been horrible timing to use that as your signal. Actually, if you look at MACD's first pale histogram there, that came just right after the top. She's a lagging indicator, therefore you can't use her to really nail those tops good, but she'll tell you in retrospect, how the trend is going, and she's usually pretty gosh darn right. For some reason, I'm feeling a little bit bearish here on PopCat, even though, hopefully we can catch something here for a little bounce, but I'm not. Oof. I'm just wondering. Joe says, I heard someone today with a new acronym. I'm going to start doing the same. Just to make fun of all these dumb acronyms. Well, it's an acronym. Nita Joe says, I bought the pump today. Strega says, I bought the high again. Oh, I'm confused. What's going on over here? Okay, you guys have got it. Okay. Create new acronyms, make them sound new acronym. What new acronym? I gotta stay in on the swing failure patterns. I had to add that one. Kansan says hear hype around White Rock last few days. Started to hear something about them probably 2 months ago, but then nothing. I remember hearing them a few weeks ago. White Rock. I'm not. It's just White Rock Finance. Well, look at you. You just want to keep on doing it. Well, we actually looked at it over here. I think it was probably... Nah, I guess it was after. Well, definitely we're checking it out over here. When she was fractions of a penny, and now she is, well, she's still fraction of a penny. What was it about this one? It's obviously got lots of tokens. It's got $733 million market cap now with the latest pump. It's got 1 trillion total supply. 1 trillion. Let's see, 24-hour volume is $14 million. That doesn't sound like a whole lot to me. Especially for all this. So that trading volume is, I mean, if you're trading over and over and over and over, it's counting all that. If you looked at your trading volume on the exchanges, you'd probably be amazed because it'd be more money than what you had in that account ever. And you're like, I wish I had that much money. Did I lose all that? No, they're just counting the volume of all the little trades that you make. Because they get a cut of it all. They like you to make them trades. Alright, so I think the reason why I wasn't so crazy about it is because of the bagazillion coins that it's got. And 20,000 holders, huh? Okay. That's nice, it's going up. Definitely some nice gains going on. Joe holds his crypto in the FPOC. FPOC. Alright, so sad that we're starting to look. I mean, I cater to Degens on this channel, and I'm not opposed to looking at low market cap coins and whether they're meme coins or whatever they happen to be. But it's kind of sad state in the market where it seems like we look at more meme coins than we do like quality projects actually doing something notable here on blockchain. And honestly, I can't really, nothing really comes to my mind. I mean, there's some DeFi plays out there, some oldies but goodies and some things like that, but I can't think of anything that's really doing something crazy. We thought some of the AI coins would do it, right? But they, do they really need a coin for what they're doing over there for AI? So, but there's things like Tau and maybe things that use computing power and things like that. Hopefully they could. I think Cubic has seen some gains recently. We talked about it. Have you? No, not really. You're still hanging out. I saw an article about this one today. This is Cubic, and MEXC's got it now. It's starting to get some other places. I had to go chase this one on a place called Safe Trade. Which, you know what? I'm kind of curious. Go check them out over there. What the hell? We just want to go to the markets. We want, we prefer this to be, oh man, can you not make this dark screen?
Every click is a heart take. Watching numbers dance and shake. Now I need a crypto break.
There's Cubic. At least this screen's dark. Let's take you down to the week. And okay, let's don't. Let's take you to the day.
Love's a touch, sweeter with a smile on his face.
I think I am still up. I believe when I got into this one, it was in October 23. I have to check and make sure, but I think I'm down here in these very small areas. I guess the best thing to do is to check my wallet. I don't know where I got it over here. But if I dropped a 0, then I should be very happy. I just put like, I think I put $400 or $800 in. And apparently, I must have missed all this. So either I'm up a little decent amount, or I'm way down and bought it over here. I don't think I bought it over here. I can't remember, but I know I wasn't thinking anything about it in February when we were pumping up. I wasn't even thinking about it at all. But this is another AI play that I think some more people are starting to take serious, and it's starting to get on some more exchanges and everything. This is Cubic. Now they got a shit ton of coins too. Excuse my language, but I don't know why. But this one's got a small market cap. It's 173. It's still small. Remember, she's on a correction like most of the coins. That was impressive, actually. What kind of gains was that? From there to there. But I like the structure on the chart, double bottom, and we're retesting that area. This is starting to look interesting. But Cubic, as far as a project, we've got 200. Oh, jeez. I just bitched about one coin having 1 trillion coins, and I'm just sitting over here, and now I come over and I'm saying, no, I don't want it just for that reason. Now I come over here talking about the one I'm in that has a circulating supply of 119 trillion. That's just crazy. It's a lottery play for me, but it's a decentralized layer 1 network where scalable tech meets artificial general intelligence, purpose-built from the ground up to transcend the traditional limitations of blockchain. Redefining blockchain with feeless transactions and instant finality. A unique proof-of-work model, POW, that channels computational power toward AI training rather than wasting it. This is a network where mining serves higher purposes, and so it is a layer 1 proof of work coin. So I like that. That was kind of cool. It's the fastest blockchain ever, and that's what I was reading about in the article. It is the fastest one. There was one that came close, but it blows Solana out of the park. And that's what I guess what they need for some of the AI stuff too. So I think this one's kind of really interesting, and I've been in it for a long time, and I don't even know what the value of what I bought is worth. It was one of my lottery plays, and I forgot who I heard first talk about it, but it's been a long time ago. But she's still in a good place to. Founded by Come From Beyond, innovator behind the first proof of stake MXT and DAG architecture IOTA. Cubic is driven by a bold vision. It just looked like an interesting play. Doesn't have to be yours. We're just looking at it, but nobody talks about it because it hasn't been on the exchanges. So you had to go chase it down. Like I had to go get it at a certain exchange just to get it into my wallet, you know. And then they got a funky wallet too. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I don't check on it or anything. It's kind of not. Well, it's probably easier to use. I wonder if Tangem's got it on their wallet now. What wallet would you use for you? I mean, I'm just wondering. I mean, has that changed? That's kind of important. And so I don't see that. I don't see that addressed over here. Okay. Well, anyway, Cubic. Just bringing it to your attention. You don't have to do anything with it. But I do think it's at an interesting point in the chart. Not a bad place. And if we pull our Fibonacci, we see that we're still in a good little buy zone. So Fibs here, we're still below the 236, so still a good place to buy, in my personal opinion. And let's see, we get back up to our 618's 120% gains. That's up to a decimal with 5 zeros and 33.9-ish. And if it takes off and gets out of this, you know, few hundred, where's your market cap again? How many 100 million? $173 million. What if this one went to? What if it went to $1 billion? If it goes to 500 million, you know, you've already made some gains. Goes to $1 billion, and that's doable. If it went to multiple billions, well, now you're being a dreamer. That's a lot of tokens, gosh. DLZ says fanny packs are trending nowadays. Why don't you have one? Oh, jeez. It's a fanny pack time. So we can come over here and let's take a look at Tokenmetrics and refresh that. So the most trending ones are hype. It's been, I wonder how did that boost it when they got liquidated? Hyper liquid. Doesn't look like that had any effect on the price at all. Other than got us back in the channel. That sucks. Are you coming down, hype? She went up kind of high there. What do we got here? How would you count that? I don't think that can be your wave. I think your wave has got to be here. Is that our 3? How you doing that, Elliot? And we don't always agree, but did we kill Elliot? Oh man, we killed Elliot. What else did we kill over here? I'm gonna make sure I get all my moving average. Or my. We got you. I feel like I deleted some stuff. Now I gotta add Elliot back over here. I don't like the way that they've got this over. So, Elliot, what are you saying? An 5-way, an A, B, C correction? Something along the lines of that. How did you count that? Did you? You didn't count that one, did you? 2, 3. That's weird, Elliot. Come on now. Anyway, I'm looking at it. She's still in the channel and could come down to the bottom of the channel. So maybe $30 hype. We're at 32. It was up to 39. Be nice to get a really nice correction down here, 20 something, but we'd have to see all the altcoins take a tumble. But I gotta say, she hit her higher high up there. She hit her 113 area. So yeah, the $28 that's actually on the table. That's where I would be looking, is 28. So I think we're getting, you know, a pullback, a zigzag, and coming into 28. You say that as you're saying all coins are supposed to be going up. Some of them will, some of them are not. Some of them looking like they need to take a pullback. Been looking at Miro. I'm just throwing it out there. Nobody else has got anything to throw out, so I'll throw this one out. Try to see what she's looking like on bigger time frames. Are you also doing your? So are you going to bounce, or what are we doing here? Everything looks like they could go lower to me. I'm just saying. I just. And I'm kind of, if we're looking like we're going to go lower and going into the weekend, that's a little concerning for me. So 0.022 out of Miro, if that holds. I'm not sold that that would hold. Given with what all crap that we got going on over here with this butt crack idea, or whatever we want to call it.
I'm stacking sats to get ahead instead. Toddlers who've got my vibe. We're racking up the crypto. Watch us thrive.
So I'm kind of curious if we're going to come back and do this little guy. Or somewhere in these areas. And ultimately, if we go from big to little over there, we should be actually looking at this area. 0.017 could be coming into the idea there. Kind of retesting these areas over here from Miro. If Miro's going to do it, then a lot of the altcoins are going to be doing it too. So it makes me feel like I'm missing something on total 3, to be quite honest. Let's keep our eyes on some of these things. I'm not trusting these things for some reason. I'm not trusting what I'm seeing here. But total 3 looks like she has a chance. And then Elliot's C-Wave idea taking us lower, so we could bounce through, we can come lower. And that's retesting the bottom. Man, I hope we don't. We talked about this earlier tonight. Just keep rehashing the old information here. We got some bullish crosses and everything going on. Really need to hold this area, and it should. It looks like a good area to hold. Hold it. That's perfect. If you lose it, then you're throwing all this good stuff away. Look, 200 over the 800. That's perfect. We just tested both of them. Now we can go back, test the 100. See, go, get on with life. But yeah, total 3 says this, but then some of these altcoins is saying I want to go lower. I'm having trouble kind of reconciling that. I feel like I might be off my game on this weekend. Maybe I just need a better night's sleep or something. Sometimes that happens. When we come back and say, oh, didn't nail it. Well, what? Oh, next, please. That's when the gurus come over and they come to something and then, oh, well, let's take a... You're always going to have trade setups that don't work out. I mean, that's going to happen for everybody, including you, especially you, especially us. You know, it's going to happen to everybody. But it is kind of interesting sometimes when you see some presenters go back to them and, you know, it didn't work out. It's a little embarrassing, but maybe you had an off day that day. Maybe you weren't feeling it. That's why it's kind of important not to come out here, in my personal opinion, and go, yes, oh, just flag to the upside. We're going to go, you know, and be so gung-ho that that's what we're going to do, and this, and gung-ho, and yes, that's why we're here. That's probably when those trades were, those things were put up there on those days. I'm just saying. It's curious, you know, you have to go back and then you kind of feel like, oh, are we eating crow today? Well, that flag did not play to the upside, or, you know, my ABC target didn't get it. We did not nail it. It did totally opposite. Yeah, it happens. And it's always, you know, ask yourself, why? Was it my fault? Was I in my ego, or was I just having a bad day? Was it not able to read the market that day, or or maybe it's just a, yeah, I don't know, just a bad take. It just didn't play out. Usually I think I always like to try to look for reasons to see if I can understand it. That way you don't make the same mistakes again. All right, so altcoins. How about this guy? How about AVAX? How about Avalanche? And again, here on the 4 hour. Yep, here we're just a dropping. All right, so 360, 666, 800. They're bearish formation. It is true. Hopefully, I mean, I'm looking at this is that we're trying to all cross. because that's what the smaller ones are doing, and that's what's going on here. And it looks like that's what we're doing. What would totally suck is if we're rejection and then we don't cross and we just watch these suckers roll over. Now that would be horrible, but that does not go into tact with what we're seeing on the bigger indicators. So I keep bringing that up. We have reason to be bullish. It's just being slow getting here. It's being kind of sluggish. It's like maple syrup getting here. And that can try our patience, and maybe, I mean, for me, if I'm not careful, I might get into a bad bias or something and start getting more bearish than I need to be. So I'm trying to be careful about that this weekend and everything. But this weekend just looks like a perfect place to be freaking bearish. And you know, not for me, but for the market makers or whales or however that works, you know. And the fact that we keep breaking trend lines, but the fact also they keep faking us out of these things too. So it's tricky. And if there's anything that I can take away from this is when the trading is tricky like this, and you do see a lot of things, a lot of fake outs, a lot of stop loss hunts, we get back into patterns. They trick you, and they come up for that, just that little higher high, and then they dump it down lower. All those little games that they're playing out there, they're doing it because they're taking this more. They're wanting your money. They're wanting your coin. They're targeting. They're getting. It's almost like they're feeling a little bit more desperate, I guess. Especially on Bitcoin, you know, to make sure that they're, you know, getting all they can get in before we go up higher or whatever we do. So I do know this is part of the market where they can, you know, make you feel bearish when you don't need to be, or get overly bearish when you don't need to be. And then, you know, like we had with that little run from, well, I mean, from 74 all the way to 100,000. An example of that, but it just keeps happening. Even the run from 107 on Bitcoin or up to 111. I mean, there's a lot of disbelief that was happening too, right? I mean, because we're at areas of resistance, and then we're starting to break what we're normally used to and normally would see. And those are the early stages, my personal opinion, of the parabolic bull move coming. And when that happens, I mean, and it happened last cycle too. I mean, I remember the specific YouTubers out there, a few of them that they were bearish the whole run up, and it never made any sense to me. But they were just in the wrong bias or wrong mindset. They might even be bearish now. But what I'm doing, when the market goes bearish, they make some money though. That particular person I'm talking about, what was it, back in December? Well, for all this, I mean, they did really, really good for themselves, shorting all through here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 15 people hanging out. To rock around the time, or to rock on time. It's tricky. All right, guys, so we're heading into the weekend. I just advise us to be careful. Friday is coming, and I don't trust Fridays much more than I trust Saturdays. We got to remember that as far as Bitcoin goes, and that kind of runs the show. You know, one thing I've not done is come over here and look at the micro futures for Bitcoin, because I think this is, and maybe it seems like when I feel bearish or have a bearish take, if I come over to this one kind of gives me a little bit more clarity we don't have, and this is where the big money is also playing. So I'm still disappointed we haven't knocked out these fibs, and that could still be on the table at 114 or 119, because well, in my personal opinion, I think we need to hit one of those, and then get a bigger pullback. But that's not what she's doing. She's just going up just a little bit. And I talked about this earlier. It sets us up to where if we don't try to go for that, we might be in a distribution, be in a range thing, and that's not, we don't want that. We don't want that. That doesn't lend to an awesome bull market at all. That leads to boring sideways trading and just not good. We don't want that. So this one tells me that we could be pulling back here to about 103 in that area, probably coming back to, we need to clear you off. I'm just going to redo this one before we take off tonight or wrap it up tonight. Because we don't have our new fib. These are the old fibs on here. So that 103,390 according to this particular chart. And possibly 97. So those are the two main areas that we have to look for, in my personal opinion. And on this chart, it looks like we lost this daily trend line. That looks pretty much apparent there. Lost the 9 moving average. And tomorrow evening at 4 o'clock, they will stop trading at whatever price that we're at, and then they will resume on Monday. And then, so if we drop down to 97 Monday or Sunday or something crazy like that, and we open up here, that means there's a gap. And that's another reason why I look at this. And if there's a gap, they're historically allowed to close those things. So we've got some things to pay attention to on this chart too, I think, that can help guide us a bit. In my personal opinion, I mean, it does look like I do expect us to head a little down on this weekend. And so it's probably a good idea if we do happen to get a pump up on altcoins or something tomorrow to probably position yourself so that maybe, you know, you can withstand the drops. I don't know if you're spot or something like that, or maybe you got some leverage plays out there. And then, you know, maybe we can find a better positioning during the weekend, during low liquidity. That's kind of my takeaway. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for putting up with all the jitter jabber and craziness goes on in the channel. We just try to figure out what's going on in the market. Looking here on the 6-minute chart on Bitcoin before we go. The JJ pattern right here seems to be forming out her other dual set of ovaries. We have not just one ovary, but two ovaries on this side. So a nice little possible bottoming pattern going on. But what we got to do short term, the 6-minute, we got to get above here. So if we can do that, break back above the trend line here, get a higher high. Again, this is where I fib them out. I'm short term. I am looking for drum roll 1067 and 1069, and getting rejected from there I'm cool with. I just want to go up and hit those guys, get a higher high in, look for a higher low, which will hopefully follow this brand new trend line we got. So I would like to see something like this start happening, and then maybe we'll start working on then 3 humps and then worry about a dump, and we've got our trend, we got our new trend going, meaning that the 618 pullback was our local bottom. That's what we need to see happen overnight, and it looks like that's got a good chance to start trying to play out. And if we can do that, then maybe this weekend won't be as bearish. Maybe we still got areas that we got to get above over here too, to kind of solidify that idea. Like remember the 0.5 Fibonacci from oh crap, did we pull that wrong? No, this one. So okay, well this idea will take care of that. Yeah, maybe. But I'm still watching these guys. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Just be careful, be cautious, try to take some profits when you can, because this market's, I think, it's going to get tricky. You're seeing some of these altcoins give back, especially some of the meme coins like Popcat gave back almost half. Might give back a little bit more. I hope not. Gotta get those gains. Keep them gains. Keep them safe. See you guys tomorrow.
Baby, please don't stack
Next week I'll be on tonight. Hopefully we'll see you before then. Or tomorrow. Yeah, there we go. So I'm a little bit late to the party. You know who's missing from over here? Oh my God.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Y'all got my chat rate at 10. That's awesome. Good night, everybody, and good night, John Boy.